Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this Free for All Friday Pride of Dakota edition. I'm Kelly Wald from the North Dakota Department of Agriculture. With me in the studio today is Michelle Milkey, Public Information Officer of the department, and special shout out to our producer on the board over here, Randy. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. See, if you want to listen to the show online or find replays of the podcast, you can visit the website, which is supertalk1270.com, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/supertalk1270. Well, I don't know about you, Michelle, but there seems to be colds going around today, and the studio actually smells amazing right now because we have some guests in the studio, and they brought with them some products that are making it smell wonderful in here right now. So today with us, we have Pride of Dakota members Cindy and Ron Schmitz, who are owners of Crystal Rock Healing. We'll be chatting with them in a little bit, but before we do, let's talk about what's going on with Pride of Dakota in the Ag Department. So as many of you know, March is celebrated as Pride of Dakota month. That this year, actually, we celebrated 31 years with the program. It's run out of the Department of Agriculture, so it started back in 1985 under the direction of Commissioner Kent Jones, and since then it has grown from about 20 members to well up over 500. So in the last 31 years, the program has grown leaps and bounds with the support of a lot of really hardworking, good North Dakota people and their businesses. So we celebrated Pride of Dakota month. As part of that celebration, we actually did a Facebook contest where each day we posted a random question about Pride of Dakota or about members and their products. And at the end of that, we drew 2 random winners from the people who had submitted entries. And so congratulations to Troy Larson and congratulations to Joey and Amanda Malum for being drawn as the winners of that contest. And they will be receiving Pride of Dakota gift baskets for playing. So it's something we're hoping to continue doing in the future. Also, during Pride of Dakota month, we do our annual Pride of Dakota Day at the Capitol, which was March 23rd. We had about 50 different companies that were there, and our guests in the studio today were actually there too, so you may have seen them if you were up there. About 50 different companies, people could come and shop. It was a great day for it. The weather was beautiful, had a really good turnout, and so a special thank you to everybody in the community who was able to come in and support those companies. It's usually a good opportunity to maybe see some new companies that you're not aware of, and it's really good exposure especially for companies who are new and just trying to get out there in front of the public and make themselves known. So the next event that we have on the docket for Pride of Dakota is our annual Pride of Dakota Day up at the State Fair, which will be Monday, July 25th. And as part of that event, we have some awesome North Dakota companies who sponsor our lunch. And you can spend just $1 and get a hot dog, chips, and milk. And then the proceeds from that actually go to the North Dakota FFA Foundation. So those kids come up, their state officer team comes up and helps us out, and they spend the day with us. And great organization to work with. So we're set up in a big tent on the state fairgrounds there from 11 to 5, and then 11 to 5, and then people can come and shop from different products that Pride of Dakota members have. And then in the afternoon, we feature a contest where in the past we've done Coogan contests. So Pride of Dakota members who make Coogan can submit their contest or their Coogan, and then people can come and taste it and vote for the winner. And this year, we're actually going to be doing something with kind of like we did last year, where we had featured recipes that included honey as an ingredient. So this year we're going to be doing something like that, but it'll be like with North Dakota native fruits. So stop up if you're at the State Fair on Monday, July 25th. Stop by the Pride of Dakota tent and have some fun with us. All right, so another thing that we had going on in March was National Agriculture Day, something that is near and dear to the hearts of those like us that work at the Ag Department and farmers and ranchers across the state and the country. So I'm going to let you talk a little bit about how we celebrated that.
That's right. So the National Agriculture Day, we had a contest for some 4th and 8th graders. Our theme was Ag is for everyone. And going off of that theme, we just wanted to remind people that pretty much everything they touch in their daily lives comes from agriculture, whether it be the food that they eat, the clothes that they wear, the fuel they put in their vehicles, or the feed that they might give their pets or their animals. So we sent that theme out to teachers across the state in the 4th and 8th grades, and we had the 4th graders draw posters to enter, and the 8th graders wrote essays. We had 3 winners for each category. So for the 4th graders, Sierra Schlenker from Jamestown. I'm sorry, I apologize. These are the 8th graders was the essay winner. Sierra Schlenker from Jamestown was the 8th grade essay winner. I apologize for that. She was the first place. Reese Steenson from Hillsboro in 4th grade was the poster winner. Annie Schmidt from Bismarck and Ben Zuther from Buchanan were the second and third place winners in the essay contest. And Cadence Hayes from Animus and Tiana Weeks from Minot took in second and third in the poster contest. And they got to stop by the Capitol, and we presented them with the awards, and then they enjoyed a lunch and a tour of the Capitol. So it was an exciting day for the youngsters.
Yeah, and I was blown away. I got to be part of the panel that was able to judge the posters and essays that came in. Kids are amazing when you give them an opportunity. You know, you give them a theme and you ask them, what does that mean to you? How does that translate to your life? I was really blown away by some of the stuff that came back. So super impressive. Keep up the good work, kids and teachers out there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the entries were just outstanding. I know the commissioner was very, pleased with everything. And yeah, it is amazing what they come up with, and even things that you don't think about that they remind you of. So that's just great.
Absolutely. And I know, so another thing that we have going on at the Ag Department right now is the Water Bank Program. And we are working with the Game and Fish Department. We're seeking applications for that. There's up to $1.2 million that will be made available during this grant process. And that has been made available through the North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund. Michelle, can you tell listeners maybe a little bit more about what the State Water Bank Program is and who it benefits?
Yes, well, it's going to focus on like landowners who might have, some flooded acres on their land, or they might just have naturally occurring pockets of water. They can apply, and we will pay them to manage those acres. They'll, along with the water, the acres that are in water, also some surrounding upland acres would need to be into the program. But it's to give financial relief to those with, inundated agricultural lands, as well as to keep the present water bodies stored to benefit the wildlife, the pollinators, and the sportsmen of North Dakota. And I know there's some, besides the, just payments for having it in there, there's also some assistance for planting grass mixes, pollinator mixes, and with this program, they are going to be allowed every so often to graze the land, so it will keep the lands working. And the application for that is on April 15th. You can find everything you need on our website at www.nd.gov/NDDA.
Yeah, so farmers and ranchers, you're definitely stewards of the land. If this sounds like something that might benefit you, and can help with a little bit of conservation here in North Dakota, certainly check out the website or give us a call, and our Lane Kozel, who is managing that, would be happy to chat with you. So spring is just around the corner, and with that, people are out there, they're getting excited, they're ready to get planning with their gardens and things, and we just want to remind listeners of the program that the Department of Agriculture has, where we can help give back to the community through that. So I'll let you talk a little bit about that, Michelle.
Yes, we have something called the Hunger-Free Garden Program, and what it is when you're planting your garden this year, maybe you plant an extra row or a few extra plants that you might be willing to donate later to a food pantry or a soup kitchen or another charitable community program. I know a lot of times at harvest, I have extra things, and I'm usually walking around to neighbors, hey, do you want some cucumbers? Do you want some tomatoes? So this is a great way to help the less fortunate in our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking for a place or a list of places that will accept donations, like Michelle had mentioned, you have all this stuff at the end of your harvest and you're wondering what to do with it, check out our website, nd.gov/NDDA. You can find a list on there. And just a fun side fact, this program was started back in 2010, and since then, North Dakotans have donated more than 1.4 million pounds of produce to help out those in need. So way to go, North Dakota. We're going to step out for just a few minutes here. Hang tight, and we'll be back after the break with Ron and Cindy Schmitz. Well, welcome back to this Free For All Friday Pride of Dakota edition. I am Kelly Wald from the North Dakota Department of Agriculture, and joining me in the studio is Michelle Mielke, who is our Public Information Officer. Well, I'm so excited to welcome our guests today. We have with us Pride of Dakota members Cindy and Ron Schmitz, who are the owners of Crystal Rock Healing right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you for having us. We're very honored to be here today.
Yeah, I'm super glad it worked out for you. So if you want to listen to the show online or find replays of the podcast, you can visit the website, which is supertalk1270.com, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/supertalk1270. All right, so Ron and Cindy, tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got started, where you came from. Are you guys North Dakota natives? Did you move here?
Well, Ron is a North Dakota native. He's from out by Beach. I'm actually from the Twin Cities. I lived and grew up in Stillwater, Minnesota, which is a river valley area, which is kind of how I got into essential oils in the first place. In Stillwater and all along the river, we had just a ton of ticks, and I was working as a veterinary nurse at the time, and then I went into veterinary sales. But we always saw just a ton of tick infection diseases in animals, and I ended up getting a tick bite myself, and I didn't recognize all the symptoms right away. So it kind of was a couple of weeks delayed before I realized really what was going on. And so then I started going to doctors and trying to figure out, or getting them to give me a diagnosis so I could get medications for it. And it took me about 2 years to get a full diagnosis. And my Lyme disease kept coming back negative, and finally I had them do 2 other tick bite disease checks that we commonly see, which is co-infected with Lyme disease. And so those tests actually came back positive, and so I finally got my diagnosis. But by that time, my disease had turned into rheumatoid arthritis, and so that kind of brought on a whole new set of medications that I had to be put on. And after about 4 years, I just kind of finally said, that's enough. I've had enough of medications that just kind of add more symptoms to my symptoms. And so I started delving into the naturals, and that was in 2013 is when I started Crystal Rock, actually, and started making products and selling it at farmers markets and the Minneapolis farmers market and stuff.
Interesting. So when did you actually move to North Dakota and bring Crystal Rock here with you?
I moved into Fargo originally in 2013, and then came here to Bismarck in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the process of, how you took this thing that you were dealing with yourself and turned it into the thriving business that you have now?
Yeah. It started out, I made sprays and roll-ons that helped me with my pain. And I was using them for, of course, family members. And I had people ask me for different blends. And so I studied aromatherapy and just started making new blends. And it just kind of blossomed into what it is today, which is, you can basically get from us anything that you need. We have it for pain and stress and confidence and sleeping and transformation, increasing the vibration of your body. So basically anything. And then we started making it in different products, not just the sprays and roll-ons, but also in the shampoos, conditioners, bath salts, body washes, balms, everything. Anything you can imagine, just about.
And I think the key point of where our business started was when we got into the essential oils, we'd signed up for the original kit, the concentrates, and we got those, and then we really didn't know what to do with them. So then we did the research and found different recipes and stuff that we could use to make our roll-ons and sprays, and then all of our friends liked our ready-to-use products. And so then they had us start making ready-to-use products for them because they had the same problem. They had all these concentrates and didn't know what to do with them. So that's...
And we get that a lot at the store, too. People walk in and they're like, okay, I picked up my first starter kit and now I have no idea what to do with it. And so we can kind of help people in learning how to use it. And we'll have classes even coming up here starting in May that'll help with learning more about oils and stuff too.
And I feel like that's really become a popular thing here. In the last few years, people are really turning to essential oils and natural things that you can maybe use more of as a preventative thing, and then also to help with symptoms of things that maybe you're just tired of taking medications, or you know there has to be a better way to do it. But yeah, they get this kit, and then it's like, okay, well, what do I do with this? How do I know I'm doing this right? But it's nice, you know, if you're in town, stop in and talk to Ron and Cindy, and they've been there, done that, and have a little bit more information for you they could share. And
Absolutely.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys actually just opened about a year ago, had opened a new storefront here in town. You want to tell us where shoppers can find you and what your hours are?
Sure. We're located at 716 East Bowen Avenue, and that's just right on that north side of Denny's, which is on the east side of the Civic Center.
Kind of in like a little strip mall area, right?
Yep, right next to Arrowhead Cleaners. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what can people expect when they come in the front door of Crystal Rock Healing?
We have, first of all, you smell the smells, of course, because there's so many smells there. And we do make all of our products right there at the store. Oh. And so depending on the product we're making for the day, it'll have a little bit different scent every day. But we also have other things, like we handpick sages out by Medora, and we sell other sages also. We have many different rocks. We just got back from a big buying show, so we have a huge new assortments of rocks. We have pet products, which we haven't talked about too much yet. And we also sell on the veterinary side too. So we have a vet line that we just are about to launch.
Awesome. So the rocks you had mentioned, are those things that are like mined from all around the world, I'm assuming? Or is there kind of like a certain area of the world where most of those types of minerals and things will come from?
Yep, all around the world.
All over.
Yep. We do have like South Dakota rose quartz and some other kind of local ones, but most of them are all over the world.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like as far as the use, like how would people use those to help with, an issue that they're having?
Well, rocks have healing properties, and a lot of the properties are based on where they're mined from. So if they're mined from an area that's like in or near ocean, they're going to pick up the properties of that ocean and the rocks that are surrounding it. So rocks have a certain vibration that equates with our vibration. And, of course, rocks are made by God, just like everything that we have that's natural. So you get healing properties from those rocks, and there's a lot of people that can feel the healing property, like where that rock will actually affect them. I can feel what the vibration of that rock is, but it's kind of neat to see people come in the store that can actually tell what purpose that rock has for their body.
That's really interesting. My mind is blown right now. And you had mentioned that you guys also harvest sages from on the western part of the state. What are those used for?
The North Dakota sage, there's a white sage and a silver sage. They're actually two of the highest, I don't know how to put it, saginess. They have the highest saginess of sages. So it's kind of cool that it's North Dakota that actually has that sage. So
that's really awesome. So what is the process to take that plant and then turn it into something in a bottle, an essential oil that you can take and use?
That would be distilling it. But what we actually sell at the store is just dried sage so that they can burn it and smudge with it.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the other oils that aren't native to North Dakota, the plants, do you guys actually get the oil in, or do you get the plants in and then distill and draw the oils from there?
We currently get the oils in. We have been looking at doing the distilling part too. But
and then
that's a whole new process.
All of the blending and things.
Yep, we do all the blending. Yep, it's all of our recipes. Mm-hmm.
Bet you never thought you were going to be a chemist one day.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's a study, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just real quickly, we have a break coming up here, but you guys had mentioned you also have a pet line. What types of products are featured in your pet line?
Pets, their biggest things, of course, are pain, stress, peacefulness, which is just really calming for them. We have lavender, which is calming. Bug repellent, which is just an awesome way to have a natural product on your animal. They come in sprays and then in shampoos.
Okay,
and then another one too we have is confidence, which is great for those animals that are learning to train, or if they're in shows and stuff. It's huge. They love it. It works so well for them.
So do people actually bring their pets into you and say, "Here, can you help my animal? I don't know what's wrong with it." Do you get those kind of?
We get a lot of
requests?
phone calls to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And is there like what's the most random type of animal or pet you've been asked to help with?
Potbelly pig, I think, was probably my most.
That's really so. Is I would assume it's probably mostly like dogs and cats
And horses.
and horses.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that is really interesting. Well, see, we are going to take a quick break and step out for just a few minutes. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with Ron and Cindy Schmitz. Wow, see right there. Ron and Cindy Schmitz, owners of Crystal Rock Healing.
Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to this Free For All Friday, Pride of Dakota edition. We are Kelly Wald and Michelle Milkey with the Department of Agriculture. And today with us in the studio, we have the pleasure of being joined by Pride of Dakota members, Cindy and Ron Schmitz, who own Crystal Rock Healing right here in Bismarck.
I know during the break we were talking a little bit, and I was asking them about my child because he kind of has trouble sleeping sometimes at night, and I know probably other people's children might have the same thing. They might fear, like, the monster under the bed or that kind of thing. And can you tell us a little bit what you told me about what could be a possibility even to help your child sleep at night?
Yeah, you bet. There's several products that'll help shut down the mind so that they fall asleep easier. I have one good story that's kind of cute. We had a lady that came in, and she has an 8-year-old that she has trouble getting to bed. And so she got some lavender, and she started her diffuser about half an hour before she wanted him to go to bed. And she said it was amazing. She said the 8-year-old went to bed, the 18-year-old went to bed, who never goes to bed early. She goes, and then the dog went to bed.
Magic sleeping potion, right?
Yeah.
So I know you had also mentioned, Ron, too, we were talking about the rocks and the healing properties of rocks and things a little before the break. But you guys also have another line of products that use those rocks that people can purchase. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. We have a line of jewelry made of natural stones that we have for sale at Crystal Rock also. So it's kind of nice because you can wear it in a bracelet or a pendant or earrings. Or, like I said, just the rock itself you can just have in the room. So as long as you have that rock near you, it's great for it to touch your skin. But just having the rocks in your presence is all you need.
Is that jewelry something you're able to do custom work on, or is it given the nature of the stones that you're working with, is it pretty, are like the designs and templates of the jewelry pretty set?
We kind of make them as we feel, to be honest.
Okay.
So whatever when you start looking at the findings and the jewelry, every single one is different. There's not two that hardly are the same. So, and we can definitely tailor it to somebody that wants a different design or a little different coloring of, with a certain stone. Mm-hmm.
Sure. And you guys also have another product line, which I wasn't even aware of, and I know you guys are at shows all the time, so I'm not sure I missed it, but you have, the personal care, personal hygiene type products. Can you tell us a little bit about what you offer and what went into the development of those? Sure.
We've always made a balm, which is nice, but it can be a little bit more greasy if you want, that's great for going to bed with and really hydrating your skin. But during the day when you just want a quick lotion type, we kind of combined the lotion with different oils so you get a benefit from the lotion too. So it's a lotion that's just really wonderful. It feels so silky on your skin, and you can add in, we have like a stress lotion or a sore muscle lotion. It's great for like the sore muscle is great for after workouts and stuff on your legs, but also for rheumatoid on your hands and stuff. And then we have face products that help with healing. They have frankincense and stuff in it. We have shampoos and conditioners that are great because they'll contain different products like rosemary that help your hair to grow longer and stronger. We have one that Also the rosemary is great for like waking up your brain in the morning. So it's kind of a nice way to,
That's what I need.
yeah, wash your hair and wake yourself up with the rosemary at the same time. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I bet just being surrounded by this stuff, you guys feel like $100 every day.
Usually, this last sickness has kind of knocked us on our butt, but
It's been a doozy. I kind of blame that on the mild winter, and maybe that's me being an old German, but like I don't think it ever got cold enough to kill the bugs. It seems like people have been sick for months. But.
I have to say, I did just try some of this lotion, and it is, like she said, very silky.
good.
It smells very nice, too.
And to kind of add to what Cindy said, we also have some goat's milk shower gel and hemp body wash that we also have added the essential oils in.
Very nice. Those are really popular things, too, the goat's milk and like...
Yep.
Yeah.
And we put like jojoba and coconut oil and stuff in the products, so they're really hydrating for your skin and for your hair. And they're like the jojoba or the hemp is really great to shave with and stuff, and it hydrates your skin at the same time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys offer like a whole range of services too in your shop there. Can you so like massages are one thing that you guys do. Are you both do you actually have a masseuse hired, or are you guys? I know you have more staff. That was a news to me too. I thought it was just you two, but you guys actually have a staff of 6 plus you guys. So yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we hired a massage person. She's amazing. Right now she's part-time. She'll be full-time in May. But she does everything from, sweetest massage, which is kind of a therapeutic massage, to the deep tissue. She does cupping. She does hot stone. She does reflexology. She does, I'm not pulling it. The raindrop technique. We also have one that's called the whole body collection, which helps like after surgeries to help get your feelings back in your fingers and stuff.
So I'm a little bit of a novice when it comes to massages. Mm-hmm. What you had mentioned cupping? What is that?
Cupping, if you remember on the movie, what is it called? Can't think of what it's called. Karate Kid. Where he actually like put the cups on the skin. It helps bring circulation and healing to that area. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what cupping is.
Interesting. And the raindrop technique, too. I'm not familiar with that.
Raindrop technique is dropping particular oils through the auric field of the person's body, and then they massage it in a particular way. And the combination of the oils helps to heal the body. And so they call it the raindrop because they actually drop it from 6 inches above the body.
Okay. That's really interesting. And Reiki is another thing that you guys offer, and you're actually the Reiki master, correct?
Yep. I'm a Reiki master there, and then we also have Jamie Lind, which is a Reiki master also.
So for people who don't know what Reiki is, can you explain that and kind of how you learned that technique?
Sure. Reiki is an energy healing, and some people that are energy sensitive will feel what Reiki is when they're having it done to them. Sometimes if you're brand new to Reiki and energy healing, it'll take a few times of having Reiki before you can really feel it. But it kind of feels like, coming out of my hands, it kind of feels like a little bit of electricity coming out. It's very interesting. I've also attuned Ron, so he can attest to that too, that the more you do it, the more you feel it. Reiki is passed on from master to student, and we will be having classes, the Reiki 1, starting in May. I've taught at all levels. There's actually 4 levels of Reiki, so we will be doing all levels of Reiki. The Reiki, actually, I started because when I was sick with the Lyme disease, it was one of the things in my natural bag that I used to help heal myself. And so Reiki 1 is about healing yourself, and Reiki 2 is actually when you start working on others. Reiki 3 is when you become a master, and Reiki 4 is a teacher level.
Wow, so you can actually use it to treat yourself, not just pass energy onto another.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can.
That's very interesting.
You can help with pain, stress, everything. Reiki goes where Reiki needs to go, and it'll do what it needs to do.
Wow.
We actually do it on animals too, but it's pretty intense for animals, so I generally do it without being in person with the animal or without putting my hands facing the animal.
Okay. That's so interesting to me. Wow.
Yeah.
I see here, in your brochure, another thing that you talk about is chakra balancing. How does that process work?
Chakra balancing, we generally do it during Reiki. And it's a technique that I've learned and have passed on, but I can do it in person or I can do it without being with the person. And even when I'm not with the person, the next day they'll call me and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, you had to have done my chakras last night," because you just feel whole again. It helps open up and clear them. So like if you have grief, then your heart chakra would shut down, and with opening them back up, you start feeling love again. Less grief, less depression.
So this shows how much I really don't know. Are chakras like different types of energy that your body has, or how does that work?
Yep, the chakras are our energy centers, and there's actually 7 of them in our body.
Okay.
And so when we're feeling good, all of our chakras are nice and open. If we're feeling shut down in any part of our life, whether it's financial or loving, then those chakra energy centers are probably shut down. And when we open and balance them, you feel whole again.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, I'm just imagining, when people come into the store, are you able to, sense their chakras, or have you kind of trained yourself to turn those off so it doesn't overwhelm you?
Some people can sense what the chakras' size and shape and stuff are. I can feel them when I'm doing Reiki and know which ones I need to really work on, although I'll work on all of them while I'm there. Usually, though, when somebody walks in the door, I can usually tell what type of oils they need, which is kind of interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's like your own form of communication that they have no idea you're having with them.
Exactly.
Awesome. See, we are going to take one more quick break here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with Crystal Rock Healing. Friday Pride of Dakota edition. I'm Kelly Wald from the Department of Agriculture, and also with me is Michelle Milkey, our Public Information Officer. Today we have been chatting with owners of Crystal Rock Healing, Ron and Cindy Schmitz, about the different products and services they offer for both pets and people. So before the break, we were talking a little bit about the different types of services that you guys offer. And I know earlier in the show we had mentioned some trainings that you're going to have coming up. But you also, as part of a way to celebrate your 1 year, one year opening of your store here in Bismarck, you're actually having an open house next week, April 11th through the 16th. Can you tell us about that event, what's going on, what's kind of coming up for that?
Yeah, that's it's super exciting. We have partnered with some of the Pride of Dakota members in town, and so and some of the stores too. But Steep Me a Cup of Tea we're gonna have different offerings of their teas every day, so you can come in and try different teas of theirs, a hot and a cold. We have snacks from the Dakota Nut and Candy, which is right off of Main Street.
There, yeah.
Yep. So we'll have a bunch of his different snacks to try and chocolates and stuff. We'll have tea tangles, pretzels there for everybody to try and snack on. So just lots of fun stuff like that, fun treats. And then we're going to do some different things. We do aura photos at our store, which shows the color of your aura, so that's kind of cool.
What does that mean?
The aura. So the aura represents different aspects of us. So the colors throughout our aura will tell a different story about us. And so it's kind of you get a 21-page report of everything about your aura. So it's pretty cool. And it also shows the size and shapes of your chakras. Which helps us when we're working with you. So normally that's $40 for a photo, but we're going to be offering it for $25. And then we do Zyto scans, which is and all these are really easy. You just put your hand on a cradle for about 2 minutes and it's done. So it's real easy. But the Zyto scan tells you which oils your body most needs, and it is dead on accurate. It's so amazing. So it's a great way to find out what you're lacking and what you need. And those are actually free, the Zyto scans.
Oh, really
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you had also mentioned some trainings that you guys are offering coming up in May. Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead and tell us a little bit about those.
Sure. First of all, we're going to have a speaker on this coming Tuesday from 12 to 1. We're going to have Jeannie David, and she's going to be talking about hypnosis and meditation, a Q&A power hour. And that one you sign up, as with this next one, you sign up at the store or give us a call. And so her other time that she's talking is Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8:30, and that's this coming Wednesday. And that'll be on spiritual and past life hypnosis, the basics and more. And that class is $15. Our phone number, if you need to call, is 701-751-7761. Or you can stop by the store, of course, and sign up.
And can you give us your address one more time just in case somebody missed the beginning of the show?
Sure. It's 716 East Bowen Avenue, and that's right by Denny's, north side of Denny's.
Awesome. So, and I want to make sure we get this information in there too before the end of the hour. Do you guys have, you have a website? Can you give listeners your website so they kind of know where they can go find out more about Crystal Rock Healing?
Yeah, it's crystalrockhealing.com. So easy, crystalrockhealing.com.
So do you guys, like a lot of your sales and things, do you actually sell your products online, or is it more like in the store, or do you have retail outlets for them? Like, where can people find your stuff?
Sure. We have, of course, we have all our products in the store, and then we do sell online. We just launched a brand new website that we're still kind of working on a little bit with the help of Town Square Media.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
They've been awesome, and it's neat because we've gotten a lot of feedback of where the people are coming from that are going to our website, and it's like all over the entire world. It's so cool.
My next question is you have a pretty wide customer base, or is it more like locally here?
Well, definitely, 95% of the people that buy from us are from North Dakota and Minnesota, but it's expanding, so that's fun,
That's awesome.
And then you had asked another part of that question that I missed.
We have stores throughout North Dakota and Minnesota that we also do wholesale through. So
awesome. So do you guys have any plans in the works? I know this is probably a silly question because you obviously are. I know during the break we were talking and you said up until just a couple of months ago you only did have one other employee aside from you guys, so you're obviously growing, but do you guys have more plans in the works, maybe 5-10 years down the road, where you're looking at expanding or adding in new things too?
I think the wholesale will be the biggest part of our expansion. Where every day I feel like somebody new is coming to us that's asking about doing wholesale with us, so that's definitely the biggest part of our growth, and from there we'll see,
And we are also looking at maybe adding other services along the natural healing line.
Yeah.
Sure. So do you guys get a lot of requests to come up with new blends or new types of products from people who come in the store?
Yeah, we can always tell when it's time for a new blend because we'll literally get asked it the same question, same blend 5 times during 1 week. And we're like, oh, yep, time for a new one.
Something's going around, right?
Yeah.
You had also mentioned a little bit that you do animal communication.
Mm-hmm.
That is really interesting to me. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you do actually?
Yeah, I was told by somebody that I was an animal communicator, and I'm like, okay. And so I was talking to another friend of mine who's real intuitive, and she said, well, yeah, you're an animal communicator. And I literally had never heard of that before. And so I read up on it, studied it, took classes, and I'm just always amazed at the results that I get, But I'm very telepathic. I'm always answering questions before they're asked, and I don't realize that I am. I don't realize somebody's saying something. It just seems like it's my own thought. And so it's kind of interesting. But
and Ron did say, I don't have any secrets.
So I know like a picture has been going around on Facebook of a dog that was home alone and pretty much trashed the people's apartment with ink everywhere. So obviously that's a situation where maybe the animal is bored or they're stressed, or you could probably help with something like that.
Yep, I sure can. Usually I can find out what's causing it, what's their anxiety is from. And of course we have an oil for that too, but
So if somebody wants to schedule an appointment with you guys to come in or to bring their pet in, is there a pretty long wait, or is there an opportunity for them to kind of walk in that day and get a service if possible?
we actually do all the animals telepathically. So I don't have to be with them. And it's actually better because then I can do it in more of a quiet space and I don't pick up everybody else's thoughts too. Sure. Like I tried working at the Humane Society and helping with some of their animals, and I found that all of the animals were talking to me at the same time. And so it was really hard for me to pick out which animal was which until I get to know their voice. And so I usually do it under meditation.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, we have just a couple minutes before we have to wrap up today's show. I just want to ask you guys, as business owners in North Dakota, what have been maybe the most, like the single most challenging and the single most rewarding aspects of this whole journey that you're on?
I love the stories from people coming in and how our products changed their life. That's the most reward. I'm so grateful and honored to be able to do that for people.
That's really cool. And I know you had mentioned earlier, like with your open house you have coming up, you're teaming up with other Pride of Dakota members, and that to me, like working with the program, that's the coolest thing to see, is that Pride of Dakota members, they're really like a giant network. They're a giant family. Mm-hmm. They're always looking for new ways to get involved with each other, and they really have that entrepreneurial spirit where they're thinking, okay, what can we do? How can we work together to come up with a new product or offer a new service? So hats off to you guys for that North Dakota entrepreneurial spirit.
We learn so much from everybody else, too. It's from the other Pride Dakota members. It's very helpful.
Yeah, it's an awesome group to work with. So
yes.
Thank you for being a part of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to remind everybody, if you're looking for more information about the Pride of Dakota program, you want to see what it is, how it works, if it's something that might benefit you and your company or your idea that maybe you want to take and grow into a company, you can find out more information about the program on our website, which is prideofdakota.com. And real quickly before we wrap up the show, Cindy, do you want to give listeners one more time your phone number and website?
Sure. It's crystalrockhealing.com. And then our phone number is 701-751-7761.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ron and Cindy, for joining us in the show today. We will be with you guys next time on this Free For All Friday Pride of Dakota edition.